Hello all, this is Tetrafolium, back to cover the 2023 Turn 17 Rocks Draft League. Turn 17 Rocks is just the name of the draft league. It has to do with an inside joke from our first draft league. Uh, not that important, but I just wanted to give a little bit of insight to my preparation for my game against null pointer exception, or excuse me, null exception pointer. Um, Actually, I don't know what it is. I'll have to go check that afterwards. Um, in any case, what I like to do with a draft league when I am preparing for uh, fighting somebody, I like to go over to their Pokemon first, and I like to identify what threats that they have. So when I look at this team, the three Pokemon that stand out to me as being overly threatening are Baxcalibur, uh, Gengar, and Toxtricity. How did I come up with those three? Well, Baxcalibur is just really strong with a Dragon Dance boost. That Glaive Rush will go extremely hard against most of my team. Um, Anything like Icicle Crash or a Loaded Dice Icicle Spear could be extremely devastating, especially at +1. So I'll need to think about things for that. Gengar is just really strong with choice specs, if he happens to run that. It's also faster than everything on my team naturally, so I needed to come up with something to deal with that. And then lastly, Toxtricity, also with choice specs, will go extremely hard against my team. Um, a choice specs overdrive, for example, it will 2-hit KO the agency pyramid, um, and that's not good. Uh, so I needed to think about what I would do for those, and what I figured that I would try is just outspeed everything, um, or rather, run enough speed EVs to outspeed most of these Pokemon. As you can see, none of my Pokemon actually have max speed, and I think that this is an important skill to learn in draft battle is how to allocate your EVs. You don't oftentimes need max because, well, you're not going to fight any of the same Pokemon that are on your team. So I don't need to speed creep other Volcarona, for example. There may be some times where there are Pokemon that have the same speed tier, um, but not always. And in this case, well, that just wasn't the case. So I'm mostly with many of these speed EVs, such as with Volcarona, with Screamtail. I'm trying to outrun a Jolly Baxcalibur so that I will always get the first hit in against a Baxcalibur that's unboosted in speed. Um, I don't know how much it would help against Dragon Dance boosted Bax, but if I can at least do something before the Bax gets to do anything, then that might help me. That's just sort of my thought. Uh, the next speed tiers that were important were my Oricorio, and I believe my Skuntank. I wanted them to be faster than modest Toxtricity, um, so that, you know, I can get some chip on the Toxtricity, just in case I come up in, like, I come up against a Choice Specs version, or even if I come up against like maybe like a shift gear version that's not max speed. Um, Lastly, I've got for speed tiers, I've got Wishcash here. I've got enough speed so that with +1 due to Dragon Dance, I will outspeed a modest Gengar and also outspeed any version of Arcanine. Um, Probably not the most important speed tier, but like it might come in handy. We don't know. Um, as for ability choices, I think almost all of my Pokemon have like the ability that you would expect. Like you're always running Purifying Salt on Garganacl. You're always running Flame Body on Volcarona. I don't even think that Oricorio and Screamtail have different abilities other than what you see here. So I guess that leaves me to explain Whiscash and Skuntank. Well, Whiscash, Oblivious, I thought was kind of the obvious choice because I'm counting Arcanine, Quillfish, and Masquerain all as Pokemon with Intimidate. And Oblivious, of course, ignores Intimidate. So that seemed pretty obvious to me that I didn't want to get Intimidate spammed. And then with Agent Stinker, Skuntank, I chose Aftermath because, it might matter if I need to get extra chip on something like Baxcalibur Glaive Rush or on Corviknight with like Brave Bird, or maybe Arcanine if he's running like a physical Arcanine. Um, its Stench could have been a decent ability, but my Skuntank isn't that much faster than most of his team, so I don't know how many flinches I'd actually get off with it. So I kind of just decided not to do that. The next thing I guess I could explain is the defense tiers that I have. And mostly this is going to come down to explaining Garg and Skuntank. Oops, there goes his team. For Garg, I've got just enough defense that I will guarantee live Jolly Baxcalibur's Earthquake after Rocks. For guarantee live 2 of them. Yeah, that's right. Now if he Terra Grounds, then that's tough. I probably could have went with I probably could have went with the Shucca Berry instead of the Chapel Berry, but I kind of wanted the Chapel Berry just in case the Toxtricity or the Gengar was running Focus Blast, or if I needed it for Arcanine with Close Combat. Though, Shucca would also be a pretty good option. And then finally, my Skuntank is going to guarantee live a Glaive Rush from Jolly Baxcalibur with that amount of HP. It also helps out with some of the rolls from Toxtricity and Gengar as well. Yeah, I'm putting a lot of stock into him not bringing something like Copperajah, which actually would do pretty decent against my team. Like my Garganacci and my Screamtail don't deal that well with it. He also could be running Iron Head on his Corviknight, and I believe that Excalibur gets it too, and maybe Arcanine. I'm not sure, but I'm not trying to spend too much time thinking about that because I think I've got good enough answers all around. Basically, what I'm hoping to do is to keep anything like webs or rocks off of the field with my Oricorio. And I think that Oricorio matches up pretty well against Masquerain and Quillfish, and at least decently against Copperajah. Maybe not the greatest, but it is what it is. So Oricorio should be able to keep the rocks and the hazards and the spikes, sticky webs, all of that stuff away. Then that should open up my Volcarona to come in at some point and Terra Fire and go to town, hopefully. If not, I always have Whiscash as an option to Dragon Dance up and try to get some kills. I think it would be hilarious if I got a bunch of kills with Whiscash. So we'll just see what happens. Alright, now let's just get into the game here. Now, I did some things that I don't recommend doing before a Pokemon game. I ate a nice big meal. I was getting warm, feeling a little tired, falling asleep in my chair a little bit. I think I went to the gym right before eating. So my whole brain was kind of fuzzy. Um, but I have a game plan, and I knew I was going to stick to it. Let's go ahead and get into the game. I'll go real slow, just so that we can observe all the turns. So for the lead here, I saw a Masquerain, and I thought to myself, well, if I was him, I would lead Masquerain. That's just what I thought. Get the webs up early, uh, make it a problem for my Volcarona, um, make it slower than Bax for sure. So yeah, I went Oricorio, and Oricorio is an extremely good counter to Masquerain. Both my Hurricane and my Revelation Dance should do a ton. Um, so let's go ahead and let this play out. In fact, I'll do it at normal speed. So don't get the roll there to kill. I believe it was a roll to kill. Just defog the hazards away. No need to predict anything crazy. He goes to Toxtricity, U-turning out for the Masquerain, and I figured, well, my Whiscash is fairly bulky and it resists both the stabs. So unless he goes for a Boom Burst right here, um, I'm gonna go Whiscash. If he did go for Boom Burst, it might have killed if he was Choice Specs, in which case I would have known how much investment he's running or what item he's running, and Garganachi could have came in to get a free Salt Cure on something, but he just goes for Volt Switch here. He seems like he's some sort of choiced based on that play, so he's just going to switch hard out into Masquerain, which is perfectly fine. I'll just take the kill on it. Goes up to Corviknight, starts bulking up, so now I'm thinking, okay, he's the Power Trip set, probably. Might have Brave Bird, might have Roost, might have Body Press, not quite sure yet, but in any case, Oricorio should live any one of those hits. Power Trick is going to be low base power right now, and then I resist Brave Bird, I resist Body Press as well. So I'm willing to play this out. In fact, I'm going to Quiver Dance. I'm doing the calc. It seemed like he wasn't going to do much. He just goes straight for Body Press. I'm going to get my damage. I do 50% there, and I trust the roll, so I just go for it again and get a kill on Toxtricity. Gengar comes in. Now I'm +1 Spadef, so I'll take it. He actually reveals to be Focus Sash on his Gengar, which means he wasn't Focus Sash on Masquerain, which is an interesting take there. What if I had went for a Hurricane and got a one-shot kill on the Masquerain on turn 1? That would have been kind of strange, but he just goes for Shadow Ball, gets a clean 36 with a dirty Spadef drop. Don't care, I'm faster and I'll get my kill. Cursed Body there is actually really bad. If he ended up going Corviknight there, my only attacking move is Hurricane, and I don't want to stay into Hurricane Corviknight. So yeah, I don't want to mess with that. Now he goes to Baxcalibur, which probably was going to force me to switch out anyway. I'm looking at my team here, and I think, well, I guess I'll probably go Screamtail, because even if I have to sack Screamtail versus this, I don't really need it for the last two. It could get really, really bad here if he starts boosting, though. Oh, in fact, I think I actually go Skunk Tank. We made sure that we lived 1. I don't know if I don't think I live +1. So I don't know. Maybe I just wanted to get like a nice sucker punch there. In fact, this could have been a pretty bad misplay, depending on what happened. But what we end up realizing here is that the Baxcalibur is Terror Dragon, which is probably to be expected. I don't know. I maybe would have went Terror Ground against this team, but Terra Dragon's not the worst. He goes for Dragon Dance, and then he says in the chat, he's choice banded. And that kind of just goes to show, well, you know, read up on your items, make sure that you know what they do, and yeah, there is no reason to run a Dragon Dance on any choice Pokemon, probably in any format, in any game, in anything. I don't even have knockoff on any of my Pokemon, I don't think. So I'm not sure. So he Dragon Dances up, I crunch, do a dirty 49. I end up deciding to switch out because, well, he's going to be stuck clicking Dragon Dance anyway. Might as well switch out to the Pokemon that is the safest on Switch. I just get my rocks up. I know now that he's got no boots, so he'll just take some chip. The Arcanine might have boots. Corviknight won't. So works out fine. It does absolutely 0 damage. I can't tell exactly what his spread is. He might be max speed, max attack. But it is what it is. Just wish pass to my wish cash. Dragon Dance up, and then I think we all see where this is kind of going here. I'll just let it play out. I did say in my preparation that I thought it would be funny to get a bunch of kills with Wish Cash in this game, so that's kind of what I'm going for. I'm not sure if my Wish Cash can 1v1, and right there it seems like he definitely can't. I go to Volcarona trying to get a burn, didn't get it, but I force a switch out. I figured I might as well Terra, there's no point not to. Have to do a little bit of switching around here. My Chople Berry actually comes into play here. Not that the Arcanine was doing much, but get a nice, basically a kill on Arcanine. Can recover all the damage back. That crit did basically nothing for a crit. I went to Skunk Tank. And I calced it, and if he wasn't max defense, I would have got a kill with Explosion there, but, well, he was, so that's tough. I get a kill with Wish Cash, though. And that kind of ends the game. So how that's ruled is it's a Hawaiian 5-0 for me, but because my Skunk Tank killed itself with Explosion, I actually don't give up any kills to the opponent. So unfortunately, the null, is it null exception pointer or null pointer exception? I don't remember. We'll have 0 kills out of the first game. Good luck to him, and what he ends up doing later in the league. Maybe I'll try to help him out a little bit. I don't think his team's bad. I don't think his team can't get a win. It's just that my team was fairly well constructed to beat him, and, well, he's still a little new, so he's just going to have to learn how to make some plays, and when he learns to make those plays, it'll be a lot closer a game. But that'll pretty much do it for this video. I'll put some stats at the end to show what's going on in the draft league, and then maybe I'll do another video where I get somebody else in the draft league to watch some of the games with me, and we'll see if that turns out good. Maybe I'll do that for the rest of the league as well. All right, well, I look forward to playing again, and we'll see you all next time.